All right, beat drop. Beat already dropped. Beat's done. Dang. I thought I was okay. I got my timing right. Oh wait, I thought I was going too long. Hold on. Oh, okay, it's only been 4 minutes. All right. Okay, got about 6 of y'all in here. Like I always say, make sure y'all just hit the thumbs up, and I always keep doing these, man. But yeah. Got Stamina in here. What's going on? Stamina, Robert Henry, Marcus, and Mark. What's up, yo? So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it, man. Like I said, we did the fight predictions last night, so we just going to talk about these champions. Yeah, we're going to talk about these champions. Let me pick up where I left off. Well, it was like 2 or 3 nights ago. It was a late night stream. You know, I did a late night stream, and I was talking about Valentina Shevchenko. You know, I was talking about Valentina Shevchenko and her title defenses. So I had a few people on. You know, I was on at like midnight. I was on like around like midnight. But a few of y'all were in there. You know, we were talking about some different things. Y'all made some good points. But I said, let me get back on here. We'll kind of go back in and talk about it a little bit more in depth, because I was actually on the move that day. But I feel like we did have a good conversation. You know, I think this kind of been the topic. Seemed like everybody kind of, you know, jumping on now. You know, I was talking about a few days ago, Valentina Shevchenko, her title defense reign, and, you know, just her being dominant, and how far she's going to get, you know, how far she's going to get. So welcome back, y'all. We back up in here once again. Stamina said you were going, I was going a little too long. Oh, no. Don't leave that high. No, don't even start yet. No. All right, though. Yeah, so I just want to go back and talk about Valentina Shevchenko again as far as her title defenses and how far she can go. You know, she's coming up on number 6. This will be her 7th fight in the flyweight division. And not much has changed. You know, not much has changed in her beat. You know, she continues to, you know, march at the beat of her own drum. Just continues to establish her own level. You know, every time she fights, it's just like we can keep adding more and more to what we think about her. In every conversation, you know, it's always something new that she's showing us. You know, so with that, you know, she's going to be coming up on her 6th title defense. And I think, you know, it's pretty obvious that she's once again the heavy favorite in this fight. I think even going into this fight, hang on 1 second here. I was just typing something. I think even after this, you know, this fight, even before this fight, I think a lot of people were already saying that Valentina Shevchenko was, I think, going to be comfortable in this title reign, even more so than if she was at 135. I mean, definitely, right? I mean, she's already shown that, look, she can beat different looks and not even really break a sweat. You know, the only fighter that really gave her some type of competition is Jennifer Maia, right? And Jennifer Maia only won 1 round. She only won 1 round against Valentina Shevchenko. So that tells you something about Shevchenko going into this fight with Lauren Murphy and in the future. You know, she's gonna break Joanna's title defense record with this win, and then she'll tie with Ronda Rousey, because that was something I had to correct myself on. You know, I thought Ronda had 5 title defenses, but I forgot it's 6. You know, Ronda had hit 6, so Valentina's gonna be tying with Ronda pretty soon, right? I think Lipsky and Bohm fight is even. Yeah, I'm picking Bohm. I'm picking Bohm in this fight. I gotta go with Bohm in this fight. I like her energy. That's why I just dropped this video. I like the energy she has. I like where she's coming from. Lipsky has a little bit of everything. I mean, excuse me. Bohm has a little bit of everything. Bohm's got a little bit of everything, I think. Lipsky, I think Bohm pretty much hit it spot on in the interview, just like I made as far as my prediction and my assessment. I was like, I think that Lipsky is dangerous with the hands. She's dangerous on the feet, but when it comes to the ground game, like she pretty much said, she thinks she has that covered. So if Lipsky doesn't land anything big, we can say that Bohm might have the tools to take it on home, right? For sure. But let's go back to Valentina here real quick. So, yeah, next Saturday, Valentina's going into her 6th title defense. And, of course, man, if she go in there and get her 6th title defense, I think we can safely say that she will be hitting 10. She will be hitting 10, tying with Anderson Silva, or possibly tying with Demetrius Johnson at 11. And who knows, she could keep going from there. And I say it like that with that type of confidence because after she's faced these 6 fighters that I have on the screen, and let's say if she stops Lauren Murphy, I think that she's faced, different styles already. She'll have faced like 6 different styles in the flyweight division. And she has shown you how she can handle each one of these styles with her mini styles. You know what I mean? Like we know Jennifer Maya, Jessica I, Caitlin Chikagan, Liz Carmouche. We kind of know them all for a couple of things. We know their strong suits, but when it comes to Valentina, if she goes into these fights, she's always bringing something new to the table that we haven't seen, but she's already had and she's been working on, right? So I think with these 6 fighters, if she adds Lauren Murphy to this resume, she puts another body on her resume, then it's going to be safe to say that, yeah, man, like who else in the top 10 is going to give her trouble or even come close to beating her, Like I said, it'll take like time. Time is the only thing that I think at this point that's going to defeat her because her title reign is kind of like, Larry Holmes, Bernard Hopkins, Joe Louis. Or you could kind of compare it to the Larry Holmes when there weren't that many big fighters that could really give her a rival. But at the same time, you still can't disrespect his skill. Just because he didn't have a fighter that could give him a really, really competitive fight when he was on his title reign, can't take away from his style, can't take away from his skill. Same with Valentina Shevchenko. Like, she doesn't have somebody that can rival her at 125. Her only rival was Amanda Nunes. But other than that, it's like, she's covering all bases with her style, with what she brings to the table. So, and she shows it in every fight. She went into this Jessica Andrade fight and said, you know what, on the fly, we're going to grapple. She said, we're going to grapple. It wasn't a game plan. It was just like, we're going to show you that we train for this stuff all day long. And I think that's a part of being great. To not come in there with a game plan, but just go in there and utilize something that is up to par. Some fighters have to continue to train for a couple things and get it up to par where it needs to be, but she trains to be the best at everything. She trains to be the best at everything, whether it's the boxing, her Muay Thai, or her wrestling. It's all covered. It's all covered. Yeah, James Hanley said Val is amazing. I think it's safe to say, man. I think she's definitely one of the fighters that you can put that word there, amazing. And the other night when we were, I was in the live stream. Some people were saying that they see a few weaknesses. I was like, yeah, you see a few holes in the game, yeah, but to call them true holes, they have to be they have to be something that you can truly expose. You know what I mean? Like you you really have to work hard and research to find out what would make her uncomfortable. You know, you really have to break it down. Like even with Floyd Mayweather, there's certain things you can say all day long. Like if you do this, you can beat him, but can you really execute it though? When he's top notch in all these other departments, you know, so many strengths. The Valentina has so many strengths that they cover the one or two weaknesses that she may have, right? Everything else is damn near to a T or almost a A plus. That whatever, I don't think she's a C plus in anything. I think she's always going to be a A minus or above in everything she's covered. So whatever you think you see, you're going to have to break these other walls down to get to it, right? She's like that dragon. You know, she's got that armor. You got to find that. You got to get past one of her strengths to get to the weakness, you know? And that's what's making it hard for these other fighters, because everybody on this list that she's beaten, that she's defeated, none of them are an A in their department the way she's an A at what she does, if that makes sense. You know, like Caitlin Chikagian, we know her as a solid point fighter, you know, volume striker, high work rate, has good cardio. But Valentina has good cardio. She has great cardio. You know, she's a solid boxer. You want to box with her, she can hit harder, and she's a better fighter at measuring range, better counter puncher. So you want to switch gears to box, she can do that. Or if you think you're going to box with her, she'll take you down. You know, she'll switch levels and take you down. And then you're thinking, oh, shoot, I didn't have that covered. You know, my takedown defense wasn't covered. Like going back to Joanna. You know, you go back to Joanna, that title fight, that inaugural title fight. She first won the belt. Joanna, takedown defense always looks superb in the strawweight division. You know, she's always scrambling, getting back to her feet. As soon as she locked up with Valentina, boom, picked her up, slammed her. But I have to give Joanna credit. She did survive 5 rounds, though, you know. You know, she had little moments here and there, but, you know, overall, she still wasn't up to speed, you know. So everything she's doing is always going to keep her miles ahead of everybody else in the division. That's why I say there's the flyweight, there's the elite level, and then there's Shevchenko level, right? That's how it goes right now. You know, while she's in the division, somebody's going to have to be working at the same pace she was working when she was growing. You know, whenever she was growing, that's what everybody else needs to be doing. And I think that as the flyweight division develops, you're going to see more and more fighters study her, and at the same time understand that, you know, we can't come in one-dimensional anymore. You know, that's why I'm looking at the lower ranked fighters. They're already coming in with the mind state. You know, depending on who you're looking at, they're coming in with the mind state that we have to be we have to be versatile in there. You know, we have to be multi-dimensional. We can't just come in here depending on power, depending on Muay Thai, being a grappler. We have to have all our bases covered. So all of these young fighters, unranked, 11 through 15, you know, the triple threat I have up here, they have to be evolving throughout this through these next fights. You know, they have to be growing, and I think they all have a good grasp of what they need to do to get there, more so than the top 5. You know, that's why you seen the top 5 just get blown out. Whether it was Andrade, you know, you know, we all thought her power and strength would make a factor, but no, you know, dominated for 2 rounds. Jennifer Maia, aside from the chin and the durability and the strength, she couldn't match Valentina because she wasn't on the same level as a counterpuncher. She wasn't on the same level as a grappler. So it just helped her survive 5 rounds, right? It just helped her survive 5 rounds. Caitlin Chikagian, Kaylin Chikagan, well, yeah, I just talked about her. Like, she's got the range. You know, she was tall, long, but didn't have the power, didn't have the pop, didn't have the body attack to get to Valentina, didn't have the physicality or the strength. So going down the list of the five people she beat, none of them had a well-roundedness about them. I mean, hey, people can get mad about what I'm saying, but I'm telling the truth. Like, they just don't have the well-roundedness. I think the fighters that are on the come up, a Miranda, a Taylor, a Manon, they're trying to work at everything now. You know, looking at Manon, her channel, and watching her train and watching her early fights. You know, she will grapple when she feels the need to kind of switch it up. You know, she'll box a little bit. She'll use her karate. She'll switch it up in there. So that's telling you that she wants to be comfortable in more than one thing. You know, same as Valentina. Like, with Valentina, you know, when a fighter like Valentina can not come in with a game plan and just say, I'm going to do this when at the sound of the bell because she decided to change her mind, you know, that's the signs of a great fighter. You know, that's the signs of a great fighter and a fighter that's confident in everything they do. You know, they feel like, they don't feel like, oh man, like I learned to grapple, but I don't really like to do it. You know, she does it all. She does it all. And putting all that together, it's just going to keep her running through this top 10 right now. Everybody in this top 10. It's either going to keep her running through them or keep the other ones that don't want it running away. So she's either going to run through you or you're going to run away. Right? That's how it's going to be. But Mark Robinson said, the more I watch Lauren Murphy's fights, the more I think she might give Valentina trouble. I know I didn't always feel this way, but I'm starting to see how it might work out for Lauren. I don't know. After watching her Mara Romero Barella fight and Andrea Lee fight, you know, Valentina does everything that Andrea Lee does way better. And, you know, Andrea Lee was touching her. She was touching her a lot. So I think that the more and more I watch it, I can see Lauren Murphy going 5, but I could see Valentina winning all 5 rounds. The more and more I watch both of their fights and in the way they approach their fights, you know, their assertiveness in there, their dominance. The more and more I just keep going towards Valentina here. You know, I did a video a while back talking about, can she break the code? Well, you know, that's just a question because she said she could. So I was like, yo, do y'all think she can? What can she do? You know, I mean, I could try to dig and think, like, based off of her style and based off of what other fighters did to Valentina, but that's kind of far in between. Like, nobody's really, in these 3 losses, how many losses Valentina got? 3, right? In her 3 losses, nobody's really been able to expose anything. Let me make sure here. Because in the 3 losses she's had, you know, all you can watch is Amanda Nunes. And to be able to beat Valentina, you have to be on the level of a Nunes. I think that's the best description of it. You know, you have to be able to get the respect and make it a chess match. Of course, people think Valentina won the second fight. You know, I still got to go back and watch it again. I mean, when I got time to sit down and just watch 5 rounds of, you know, chess, you know, wasn't much action going on in the fight. That's why I really got to get up to watch it again. You know, I got to get up to watch that one again. But that's what you got to do. And if that's your keys to victory, to beat Valentina, is just to be able to do everything Nunes does, you got your work cut out for you. You got your work cut out for you. Right? So until then, until somebody can do what Nunes does, or, you know, be able to have have better timing than Valentina, or be a better counterpuncher, or be just as strong, she's going to be going through these next few fighters. That's going to be her title defense. As a matter of fact, since we already here, and we talking about her getting the number 10, I just picked 10 because it's a round number. You know what I mean? And 10 is a lot. Yeah, she could surpass that. She could surpass that. Or maybe somebody might stop her at 9. I don't know. But from what I'm seeing in her moves, in her dominant run, number 10 ain't that far away. Because let's see here. All right. Let's say Calvillo, in a perfect world, Calvillo beats Andrade, right? Calvillo beats Andrade. I think more than likely that's going to be her next title defense, because that'll push her to number 1 or number 2, whatever. So I think we can see Shevchenko beating beating Calvillo. If Calvillo gets past Andrade, we just hypothetically speaking, right? If Calvillo beats Andrade, I think we can still safely say Shevchenko could put together a little something to get Calvillo out of there. You know what I mean? I mean, no disrespect. I mean, I know Calvillo wouldn't duck that fight, but Shevchenko got so many more tools in her belt for me to think. I think she could just stop Calvillo. I'm gonna be real. Shevchenko might go in there and stop her, right? So that would be number 7. And then she could take on the winner. Let's say the winner of Grasso Calderwood fight somebody else, and then they beat that fight. They beat that fighter. They just sit in the back and wait for Calvillo to get her title shot. So after Calvillo gets out of the way, that's number 7. Let's say JoJo wins. Against Grasso. I love JoJo. I would be rooting for JoJo in that fight. Yeah, I'd be rooting for JoJo. Y'all be getting mad at me. But in a fan perspective, I would be rooting for JoJo in a Valentina fight. But at the same time, I know the game. And I know what Shevchenko can do. So that would be number 8. Sadly, that would be number 8. That's number 8 for Shevchenko. Because I know what Valentina can do. I'm a fan of JoJo, but I'm going to be real with y'all. Okay, that's number 8. Let's say Arujo gets up there. I don't know. Let's say, Arujo gets back in there. All right, Arujo, I think it's safe to say Valentina could beat her. That's 9. Andrea Lee beats Jessica I, gets into the top 10, beats Chikagan, whoever. That's a 10. That's your 10 right there, right? Calvillo, Calderwood, Arujo, Andrea Lee. Yeah, 6. But yep. That's 10. And then we can keep going from there. So yeah. That's 10. I'm confident in that. I think she can get there. Because again, the 4 people I added there, they're the same as the 5 people on this list that she's already defeated, right? I mean, not the same style wise, but I mean as far as their approach, like they only have so many tools. I mean, the fights they fight against each other are always 50-50, right? So the fights they have against each other, if they're 50-50, that's already telling you that they can only do so much if they execute a good game plan. Whereas Valentina doesn't need to execute a game plan. She's good at everything. She's great at everything. She can use whatever she wants. And then factor in when you get to number 6, title defense number 6 or 7. She's already kind of have this. Valentina almost has this force field around her at this point where you have to respect her, like any champion, any dominant champion. Again, Bernard Hopkins, Demetrius Johnson, John Jones, Anderson Silva, any of these fighters that had reached 10 title defenses, they start to get that force field around them where their opponent over respects them. And I can see a lot of these fighters doing that. I could see like Arujo over respecting, or even JoJo. because they don't know what's coming, right? You know, so 10's not too far away for her. It's not. and and she can very well get there because she's consistent. You know, she's much more consistent. And I think when a fighter doesn't take time off, when they don't like to take time off and they like to fight, it keeps them fresh. It keeps them going. You know, the only thing holding Valentina back once was the surgery, but other than that, she back. You know, she's back and came back quicker than Rose. You know what I mean? Her and Rose fought on the same night. She was on a suspension, but boom, she back. Right? She back before her. Let me see what y'all saying here. Hold on one second. Let me see. Mark said Murphy has to take a chance, take the fight to Val, take her out of her comfort zone. Maybe she shocks the world. You know, I never push out the shock factor, but I don't see it. She's gonna really have to grind in this fight. Robert Henry said, I really hope Lauren Murphy helps make this fight entertaining. She may need to take a few shots to get inside. Oh, she gonna have to take a few, yeah. But maybe he can make Valentina make a mistake like trip over herself. Stamina said Calvillo is an easier win than Murphy. I can agree with that. I think so. Yeah, I think after seeing Calvillo against Chikagan when the win was right there, that kind of showed me something like, oh man, like she didn't step on the gas. Yeah, I could see that. High Five said Lauren's robotic figure might hold longer than anyone who Valentina has beaten up once she bear hugs Lauren and she's done on the ground. Yeah, the physical strength, I'm not really thinking too much on it here, like she's gonna do anything crazy, because we seen what Andrade did. But then again, Lauren's figure, Lauren's frame, and her strength might come into a different play. Like Valentina won't be able to grapple Lauren the same way because she's not short. You know, she's not short, not as low to the ground, and her arms, you know, she has longer reach here. The shoulders are broader. So she'll find some way to take her down, but maybe in a different fashion. Robert Henry said Murphy has to make this rough and ugly. She cannot sit back and play around. She's too intelligent. It will pick her apart. Yeah, I think she has to risk getting KO'd. Yeah. Yeah, you know, I like JoJo. I mean, but she's on the list, you know. She would probably be number 8 or number 9, unfortunately. Mark Robinson said, "Oh, y'all moving fast here. Hold on, let me catch up with y'all." Mark said Val has said that her mentality is, "I'm going to dish out more punishment than I take," but that's not the whole story. Val's default stance is also defense first. Yeah, exactly. That's how you prolong your career. That's how you stay in the game a long time. Hit and not get hit. That's the beauty of boxing, you know. You dish out more than you can take. Meaning, you know, you go in there, you hurt your opponent, you try your best to come out untouched. You know, it ain't about fight of the night. You know, you got to go in there and put it on your opponent. That's her approach. That's what a killer does. Like a killer, you ever see some of these, well, I don't want to go that deep on killers, but I ain't going to go that deep on how killers approach the game, but killers are all about self-preservation. Like a killer, when there's a mission to kill, that's all it is. Like we're not taking any chances of getting caught. We're not taking any chances of getting stabbed or shot ourselves. It's about taking you out. And that's the type of mind frame she has. It might sound dark, but it's in a fighting manner. You know what I mean? Like it ain't killer, you know what I mean? But it's similar to how killers think. Like it's self-preservation. You know, it's self-preservation and it's goal-oriented. Not saying she's a murderer and nothing like that, but you know what I mean? Like Valentina has that mind state where, you know, I'm gonna Only blood that's gonna get on me is yours. That's Valentina's approach to the game. Only blood that's gonna be on me is yours. You could quote me on that right there. That's how I see Valentina's way of thinking. Your blood is the only thing that's gonna be on my face. It might be scary to some people, but that's how it is. If you want to be a winner. Yeah, Murphy has to turn it into a brawl. Mark, yeah, she has to catch Val. That's basically it. Like, you have to be the best pressure fighter, best inside fighter she's ever been, man. You know, and I hope that's something they've been working on, you know, since 2 years ago. Like, if you're going for the gold, like, you got to know Valentina's approach has got to be something special. A hard-working kicker may help slow Valentina down. A skill set of Muay Thai judo will give Val a problem because she has lost before becoming an MMA fighter. Yeah, that's a good point. Like, if you can match her Muay Thai for Muay Thai and maybe do a little bit better, like even with the leg kicks that Nunes was landing, you know, I think you might have a way to kind of break the ice or open up a level. You know what I mean? Open up a level and maybe you can get in there. But yeah, your judo has to be on point, meaning you have to be strong and athletic. Like, that's the only way I can see somebody beating Valentina is having a one level of strength above hers, which is already which is always freakishly strong. You got to be there, or you got to have that, and you got to be a fighter with great timing. Daniel Edwards said, don't mention JoJo. You know JoJo's there. You know she might get the shot, though. You know, she might get the shot, man. You know that. You know she is. But we're going to talk about the prospects in a minute, man. You know we're going to talk about them. Hold on. All right, let me see here, y'all. I'll slow it down. Let me slow down here. High Five said to beat Valentina, they have to study where she did lose before turning an MMA fighter. Yeah, that's always a good place to start, just to see what made a person uncomfortable. Mark said if Murphy refuses to back down, Val may have to fight Murphy like Chikagan had to. Running backwards the same way Joanna had to fight Andrade. I'm not sure how well Val plays bullfighter. You know, some people mention that, like, a lot of people think Val doesn't have that type of ability to fight off the back foot. I think she does. Like, she's not a volume puncher like Joanna. You know how Joanna can jab off the back foot. You know, Joanna can jab off the back foot. She'll throw combinations. You know, that's her style. But, you know, Valentina, I think she can pick you apart, and she has angles. Like, she can play bullfighter. Like, she can set up angles. Like, look how she did to Jennifer Maia. You know, when she was in there with Jennifer Maia, she was, you know, turning those angles nicely. But Jennifer Maia, she tried to make an adjustment with the left hook. Remember, like, when she was Val would turn that angle, Jennifer Maia would try to catch her with the left hook, but she was too quick. You know, so she can play bullfighter. It just won't be in the Joanna fashion. So yeah, going down this list again, man. Yeah, so Val, you know, she beat Joanna for the belt. You know, Joanna was probably like the toughest on here when it came down to just being physically strong and bringing a very, very polished stand-up game out of all of these ladies. Like, to me, Joanna's stand-up game had to be probably the best out of all the flyweights she's fought, because that's what she came to do, was trade, and not trade, but, you know, stand with Valentina. You know, and she was definitely strong. You know, she went 5. Never really saw her getting stopped in that fight, you know, or in danger of getting stopped in that fight. Then, you know, she just got the first title defense. That was an easy breakdown. Valentina let Jessica I get into that boxer stance, pressure fighter come forward, just kept targeting the body, big, body kicks till her elbows, went to pin the torso. Then boom, caught her with the head kick. That was a simple level switching in the stand-up game. In her stand-up game, broke her down easily. Liz Carmouche, the Carmouche fight was just the Valentina's ability to control you with her mind, because Liz Carmouche did not take any chances in this fight. Like Liz Carmouche showed the utmost respect for Valentina, took no chances at all, just wanted to go in there and go 5, and that was it. So that fight was a good showcase of mind control and overall respect that she's earned. Caitlin Chikagian, that fight was great showcase of timing from Valentina. Spinning back fist to the head kick, to the showcase of the ground game, fighting in the guard, fighting off of her back, being active in the guard, a little bit of everything in that fight. And then the Jennifer Maia fight, that was a good showcase of boxing, her jiu-jitsu as well, her grappling, but very good boxing in the 4th and 5th round from Valentina, turning corners nicely, shooting the 1-2 down the middle, measuring well, a little bit of everything again, in her game plan, in her tool belt. I won't really refer to game plans with Valentina because she's not the type to have to really come with a game plan, right? She just has a tool belt. Andrade, 2 dominant rounds of just wrestling and grappling, man. She had no answer. Jessica Andrade could just not get on the inside and land any type of power punches. Valentina's takedown attempts was 8 for 8, 100%. Yeah, it was perfect in that fight. So with that, I think she used a little bit of all her tools in her tool belt, man. So this might be number 6 coming up. That's not my official breakdown, but yeah, number 6 could be coming up, y'all. So Val brought up a good point, though. They asked her once again about the Nunes fight, and she just kind of ruled that fight out, and I agree with her. I personally don't want to see the Amanda Nunes 3 fight. It's just not a fight that I have any interest in, and I don't think she needs any interest in it. I think she's in a place where she needs to be. This is a good division where a lot of the women feel good as far as their weight. It's a popping division, man. Flyweight is a growing division, and I think since they brought it in 3 years ago, it's really getting acclimated to where it needs to be. You're getting a lot of women coming down and coming up, and with that, I made that point before, but Valentina brought that point up as well. So if you didn't agree with me, you can agree with her, because she said about the same exact thing I said here. She said about the same exact thing that I said about the flyweight division, and why it's one of the best divisions, and in so many words. Let me see. MMA Hour. This was a quote from Valentina. So Nunes fight is out. Not really a fight she wants, but she said this. The interesting thing about 125 pounds is that this category is growing up faster than any other. I don't see many faces at 135, right? We said that. We don't see many fighters at 135 anymore. It's dry. Many fighters left 135 to fight at 125. Exactly. She left. Caitlin Chikagian left. Lauren Murphy left. Jessica I left. What else did she say? Okay. Same thing happened with 115. They are moving up. That's true. So everyone is coming to 125 because it's the most comfortable weight class for a female fighter. All right. Y'all heard it right there. Everyone is coming to 125 because this is the most comfortable weight class for a female fighter. We are not too big, not too small. There's just a few names at 135 who are no more bright fighters. Let me see what that means. There's just a few names. Okay, maybe she just means there's a few fighters at 135. Okay, only the old names are there. But at 125, every time you see new fighters coming in with a lot of desire, boom, I just talked about that today. I'm telling you, we just talked about that. We always talk about it. BJ, what's going on? BJ, talk about it. Flyweight division is popping. It's one of the best divisions for these women that aren't that big and these women that aren't that small. And I think even with Val and without Valentina, the division is going to become something bigger. And I'm glad because, like she said, bantamweight is dry right now, and you don't have a lot of women that need to be fighting at that weight because it's too big for them. You know, bantamweight is like 5'5" and up. The heavier women. Some of these women like Lauren Murphy, Caitlin Chikagan, who are tall and thin, Jessica I, they can make 125, no problem. Right? They feel better at that weight. They don't feel slow. They don't feel sluggish. They're a little bit more lean, but not too lean. They're strong. Still got enough still got enough room for muscle. Right? Got a little bit room for muscle. Then, like she said, you got strawweights moving up. You got Grasso, Calvillo, Suarez on the come up, Andrade. You might have Joanna coming back there. You never know. You know what I mean? You got J.J. Aldridge coming up to 125. Macy Barber. Macy Barber, strawweight too. Y'all remember that? So, it's really a good weight. It's a good weight. Because now, those fighters that were struggling to make 115, they're in a stronger place. Calvillo feels better. Grasso feels better. Suarez, when she gets back, she'll possibly look stronger. So she made a good point, man. She made a good point. It's a good weight class that, we've been talking about this now. We've been saying this. And like she said, every time you bring in new young fighters, they have a lot of desire. Hence the triple threat. You know what I mean? Manon Fiorot, Miranda Maverick, Taylor, they all have desire. Mandy Bohm coming in, she got desire. Casey O'Neill, she got desire. They may not be ready for. They may not be ready for the champion, but they have desire to grow, and that's my point. And I think she made pretty much the same point, as the champion. Those are strong words from her, just kind of, watching her division grow. You know what I mean? She's been seeing it herself. Like, she's seen, like, the lack of competition at 135. She's seen the newcomers coming into her division that could potentially fight her one day. So, yeah, I agree with, because like I said this before. I know, BJ, you said this before. For sure. BJ said, y'all know I'm coming with smoke. The real fights start with Taylor, Miranda, Manon, Jojua, Montana, Robertson, Macy. And Macy get up in there. He coming with the caps lock and Grasso. When he talking caps lock, it's real. He talking in the caps lock right now. So BJ talking trash. Mark said, love watching Val. She's a perfectionist, but sometimes I wish she'd retire. 125 would explode with girls trying to keep/win that belt. I don't really wish she would retire. I mean, it is what it is. Like, I think she's setting an example for everybody. Even if you have to take a L from her, I think she's setting an example for everybody. I mean, the longer she stays around, it should tell these other fighters that this is what we got to do to be the best. Like, it shouldn't discourage them. Y'all can do it too if you just grow. Y'all can do the same thing she's doing if you just want it just as much as she does. So I like the fact that she's there. It's like Floyd Mayweather. When he was there, nobody could beat him, but that was just how it went. Like, there were still other good fights. Floyd was just setting an example for everybody. Like, you want to be great, this is how you do it. But I think that with the growth of the unranked fighters, I think we'll see better competition in the flyweight division. Like, as long as everybody continues to grow and become more evolved as a fighter, everybody has more tools in their belt. You'll see potential greats coming up as well. I think, like I said, everybody else that we see now is kind of set in their ways. But the more and more we get well-rounded fighters, then I think we're in a better place. We'll be in a better place. Even when that day comes that she calls it quits and that title goes vacant. If the belt, Daniel Evers said, if the belt keeps changing hands, then people will complain there's no dominant champ. Yeah, I don't want her to go right now. Like, it's her call. You know what I mean? Like, I'm glad she's setting an example. I like when a fighter can be consistent and stay in the game and run it. I don't want to see the belt change, man. I don't want to see the belt change right now. I mean, this is what the game needs. Like, if the belt was to keep changing, that's just telling us that somebody's not on their game. Like, somebody is not training the way they need to be. Because I would hate for Andrade to win the belt, lose it to Jennifer Maia, then Jennifer Maia lose it to Lauren Murphy. I don't like when the belt plays musical chairs. I can't stand when the belt plays musical chairs like that. I want to see it stay with a fighter for years, if possible. I want to see somebody break records, especially if they're doing everything they need to do. The thing about Valentina. The thing about Valentina is that as long as she's covering all bases, she's not going anywhere. And I think, I may have just said this, but I think it's, like I said, it sets a good example for the fighters on the come up, man. Like, they have to know that to be the best, you have to be, you just can't be good at one thing. You have to be good at everything. I wasn't going to say good at 2 or 3 things. No, you got to be good at everything. The mental part and the physical part, the technical part, everything. Now, BJ said, bump that retirement talk. If it's as easy for her to beat everyone as y'all say it is, then fight everyone who earns a spot and break the record for title defenses. Right, that's what I'm saying. Just break the record for title defenses. Like, keep it going. That's what I want to see. And I'm calling it now, man. As long as she stays around, I think 10 is coming. 10 is coming. Like I said, more could come, but I'm just calling 10 because it's that first 10. When everybody hits that 10, that's a milestone. 10's a milestone. I mean, 11 is the top, right? But 10's a milestone even for women. So, that's going to be big. With me saying 10, then, I guess you already know my pick for, for Valentina versus Lauren Murphy, right? You already kind of know my pick, so. BJ said, I want to see the back half wipe out the front half, then challenge Valentina. Valentina hasn't taken much damage so far, less than at bantamweight, so she should be able to fight for a while. Right. Yeah, she's going to fight for a while. She might be like Manny Pacquiao in some ways, except she taking less damage. Manny Pacquiao fought like 4 decades of champions, so she might be on her way to doing that. She fought this era, and then she'll fight the next little era coming up. And then it's eventually going to take somebody with well-roundedness to beat her. That's all I'm saying. But that brings me to my next point. My last point on this, really. This is why we need new blood. This is why we need new blood. I know BJ agrees with me on this, because when you add new blood to a division, you keep it thriving. Bantamweight's not really thriving. Like she said, she sees it too. You don't see a good amount of bright fighters at bantamweight right now, because there's really no new blood being pushed in. Like flyweight has new blood. Everybody wants to be in this division. It feels good for them, so it's thriving right now. And with this new blood, you're gonna have new fighters making their wave, coming in with desire, coming in with the fire. The new blood is going to bring in more well-rounded fighters, because like I said, the fighters that were coming in from 2010 and after that, they were still setting their waves with some ways, 2013, but the new wave is going to bring in the well-rounded fighters. And even if this crop of well-rounded fighters don't beat Valentina, that's going to bring in more well-rounded fighters, to where the well-rounded fighters are now, it's more so built in to be well-rounded. No more one-dimensional fighters. Everybody's going to start coming in with the mindset of having to be great at everything. So starting with this era coming in, the triple threat coming in, even like I said, I'm gonna throw these names in: Melissa Gatto, Casey O'Neill. With these fighters coming in, they're gonna start trying to add more to their game. Daniel Evans said Miranda stylistically is a good challenger for Val in 2 years if she's champion. Yeah, I agree. I think Miranda Maverick, stylistically and mentally, I think she has a great mind for the game. And having a great mind for the game is what's going to keep you winning. Smart will take you a long way. Having an IQ, she'll be able to stay in the game for a while, man. Like, yeah, Valentina might have a good challenge in Miranda Maverick. As long as Miranda's studying what Valentina does, I think she'll be a good challenge for her. BJ said the back half of the division is finisher heavy. Yeah, you got some good fighters there, man. You got some good ones, huh? Mark said, did boxing skill level drop when Sugar Ray or Floyd retired? Did it drop? Did the boxing skill level drop when they retired? No. When Sugar Ray Leonard retired, there was somebody else to kind of pick up the torch. Floyd, of course, nobody really touching Floyd, but I don't think skill level dropped. I think, to me, skills advance more, because you do have a lot of smarter fighters not getting hit anymore. So skill level actually going up in boxing, I think, because there's everybody taking from Floyd. So skill level going up. Yeah, Stamina don't know nothing about boxing. Stamina the wrong person to ask. Yeah, Floyd, I think he set the bar, in the skill level. It's kind of rubbed off on a lot of fighters. You know what I mean? So I see boxing a little about the same. I think if Valentina retires, you're going to see somebody come along eventually with that mind state of Valentina, because it's going to rub off like it did with Floyd. You got Terrence Crawford, Canelo Alvarez, Errol Spence Jr. All of these fighters here, they're in a good place to grow as a fighter. The older girls might not get better, but Manon, Taylor, know they have to keep improving. Right. Manon, Manon is a 31-year-old too, so she's gonna be mature. So I think that's a good age to come into the UFC. You know, Manon's age is to improve and to be. Manon's target and her goal is to be successful. Same with Taylor Santos. You know, Manon being 31, she's going to have a level of maturity that's needed to fight Valentina, right? She knows what she needs to get better at, what she's not that good at, what she's great at. You're going to see Manon Fiorot get up there. You're going to see Manon get up there. I really believe that. Well, all three of them, I think. Val will be held and then get up, tee off on the gas, and Lauren. He won't carry out that underdog. BJ said Manon's a good challenge. Is the highest on the threat level though. I don't know. I think all three of them, to me, have something about them. But if I had to pick, I would say, yeah, Manon has the. I think Manon has the right mindset because she's a little bit older. Again, like I said, because she's a little bit older, and I think that's going to take her where she needs to be. That's going to take her where she needs to be right now. You know, Manon Fiorot is really Loma. You talking about Lomachenko, the boxer? Maybe he talking about Lomachenko. You talking about Lomachenko? Because, yeah, Loma Labutny is strawweight. Well, I was talking about boxing a minute ago, so maybe you meant Lomachenko. As far as dominant boxers, right? Right. You might be talking about Loma. Dang, I've been on here an hour already. Shoot, we be just talking, yo. I appreciate y'all listening to me for an hour. Dang. I guess y'all don't find me boring. I appreciate everybody that stays in here with me. I mean, I got 13 people in here who want to hear me talk for an hour. Well, I do appreciate it, though. I really do. BJ said Montana, Alexa, and Manon. I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that, man. I don't want to hear that over here, BJ. Get that mess out of here. It's about Manon, Taylor, and Miranda. Yeah, he talking about Vasil Lomachenko. Right. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, add him to the list. Yeah, Vasil Lomachenko. You know, all the other fighters I named. Yeah, skill levels go up. Yeah. Vasil Lomachenko has good skill. Yeah, so skills improve. You know, skills have improved, Mark. Skills have improved. Even whenever Sugar Ray Leonard retired, whenever Floyd Mayweather retired, I think whenever Valentina Shevchenko retires, skill levels will improve. That's the next point. Let's talk about that then. That's a question y'all just brought up there. Let's talk about that. Will skill levels improve when Valentina retires? And my answer to that question is yeah. I think skill levels will improve because everybody from here on out is going to follow that blueprint. The same way they followed Floyd Mayweather's blueprint of hit and not get hit, they're going to follow Valentina Shevchenko. You know, whether it be, you know, how Rose Namajunas trains with her. Eventually, Zhang Wei Li, it's going to rub off on them. All of these fighters are going to understand, like, they're going to ask themselves, like, when Valentina retires, they're going to say, damn, what made Valentina so great? What made her invincible in fans' eyes? Because she's not invincible, like I said. What made her style so impenetrable? You know, what made her defense so immaculate? What made her such a well-rounded fighter? They're gonna start asking them questions. So a lot of coaches, a lot of trainers, they're gonna start going back, taking from that book of Valentina Shevchenko, studying her fights, and then they're gonna be applying this game to their. They're gonna apply this game to their fighters. They're gonna be, when Valentina was champion, she used to do this, or when Valentina used to use her stand-up, she would do this, or when Valentina was in the clinch, she would do this. So, if anything, skill levels are going to improve, because that's why I think even all combat sports have evolved. All combat sports are going to evolve, and I think all technique is going to push forward. Like even with boxing, I've never seen boxing downgrade as far as like technique. Competition has. I mean, politics been effing boxing up, but when it comes down to like skill and technique, I think we have better technique on how to punch, how to roll with the punches, and how to block, how to slip. There's a lot of good things that come with when great fighters leave their mark. We got a lot of good things when great fighters leave their mark, man. So I think that the skill level is going to get better. I mean, what do y'all think? Like, when Val leaves, I think she's going to leave a good imprint on the game where these fighters say, oh, man, like, I got to step it up like Valentina did. I got to be better at everything like she was, We just said Joanna would definitely be champion at 125. I could see that. I could see her being champion at 125 for sure. Joanna's got the work ethic to be champion at 125. She's got the work ethic. She's got the champion. She's got the champion mentality. I think she could win. How long she would keep it, that's a different story, yo. She could be champion, but I don't know if she would be as dominant as Valentina. No. Let me say that again. Will Joanna be champion at flyweight? Yes. Will she be as dominant as Valentina? No. No, I don't think she would. So let's see. We were talking about Valentina for an hour. Dang. What did Robert say? Hold on. Robert's just taking me an hour to figure out what's. He says taking an hour to figure out what's for dinner. So why not keep talking about WMMA? Right. Mark said Joanna versus Manon at 125. That's interesting. I think by the time Manon gets to like number 5 or number 6, I would have to go with Manon. Yeah, I'll go with Manon. I think Manon uses her reach well, and she hits harder, and she'll walk through a lot of Joanna's punches, man. She would probably be one to take Joanna down like Valentina did to me. I could see Manon getting her down like Valentina. I don't know if her power would carry up though. I don't know if her power would carry up though. That's something to think about. Would it? So what else? Let me see. What did we cover here? So Valentina Shevchenko, like I said, kind of going back in on her title defenses. Yeah, I covered that. I think she'll hit number 10. I mean, what do y'all think? I mean, do y'all think Valentina's going to hit number 10 easy? Yes or no? Does Valentina hit 10 title defenses, yes or no? I know I've been giving you my points, but what do you think? Yes or no? Does she? Does she hit 10 title defenses? Let's see. Was she right? Was she right to y'all? Like, was she right about the flyweight division being probably like the hot spot right now? I think it is. You know, it's very active. Seems like we get more fights here than we do at strawweight. It's growing. It's growing. So flyweight's catching up to strawweight, man. It is. Yeah, she gonna hit 10. You think she's gonna hit 10 or what? I mean, if she handles the next if she handles the next 5 like she handled the last 5, yeah, she got it. All right, Get With Candy. What's up? Get With Candy said yes. Robert Henry said, I can't say you're wrong about skills improving after the bullet leaves. I wonder, will it improve in the way that Kobe came in the league towards the end of his career, the new fighters? I think it could. I think it could. I think it's going to. I think you're going to see a lot of them take what she did and try to run with it in their own way. Same as kind of like how everybody did after Jordan, you know. So I think it will, man. I think it you'll see different skills in these fighters where nobody's gonna really be just one dimensional anymore. You know what I mean? Flyweights aren't gonna be known for just one thing. Like Manon Fiorot, we see her as a striker, but when she gets into the top 10, she's gonna be shocking y'all with her inside game and her clinch game and her jiu-jitsu and her grappling. You know what I mean? She's gonna start shocking y'all. And that's what Miranda's working on. That's what Taylor's working on. You know, you see Miranda on her level now becoming a better, well-rounded fighter. You know, always working on her striking and being a better wrestler, you know. So they're always adding to their game. You know, none of these fighters now want to be known for one thing. That's why I think in the exit of a Valentina, you will see fighters trying to pick up those pieces with this new wave, the new blood in flyweight. Let's go ahead and go into that part. Like the new blood in the flyweight division is needed. Is really needed. You know, it's really needed right now because I think they are kind of feeding off of each other. You know, Mandy Bohm, with the way she's been talking and the excitement that she's shown, she's kind of been telling us that, look, you know, it's my time to shine. I'm ready to go. You know, I'm here to prove something against Ariane Lipsky. You know, it's just my time to shine. You know, then you got fighters like Casey O'Neill, Gatto. We still got to see where Jillian Robertson's head is at right now. She's going to come back stronger. You know, the new blood is very, very intriguing, man. I know BJ agrees with that. You know, the new blood is very positive, very positive about what they can do in the flyweight division. So the more and more they add in fighters, I like it. You know, then you got the wild card and Sarge Eubank. You know, Sarge Eubank is in there. So as long as Sarge is there and, you know, all of these other fighters trying to move down to 125, I think you're going to get a lot of great fights the way we have been. You're going to start seeing 4 WMMA fights on a UFC card pretty soon, I think. Fingers crossed. I know that's wishful thinking, but pretty soon you're going to start seeing 4 on a card. I hope. BJ said Taylor or Montana will get to her. Get to Valentina, you mean? Ooh, BJ, you talking about Montana getting to Valentina? I don't know, man. I'm speaking of Montana. BJ over there last night, man. I saw him on Bloody Canvas. BJ about had a heart attack. What he heard Jillian Robertson and Montana were on the same car. I saw that face BJ made. BJ was like, "Oh man, BJ about to bust right there." He had his eyes wide open, man. I was like, "Dang!" When he heard Montana and Jillian were on the same card, he about to, man. He couldn't take it. Stamina said with the girls he's got in her near proximity, yeah, she gets 10. If the prospects we like level up the way they should while she racks up that 10, then it gets interesting. It won't be for a bit yet. Right. Yeah, I think with her consistency, she should be hitting 10 in maybe like 2 years. And in those 2 years, I think some of the other fighters are going to be developing, you know. Robert said, I have no how many title defenses Valentina will earn. I'm more interested in enjoying any fight I can watch with a fighter that I know is very special and add a record later. Okay. Yeah, I think she will hit 10 though. Easy. Yeah, BJ was going, wow. BJ said, dang, they both on the same night. Yeah, so new blood at 125 is needed because with the new blood transitioning in, it won't ever fall flat like bantamweight. You know, bantamweight. I think we can also contribute to bantamweight's dry spell because a lot of the bantamweights either retiring, or not even retiring, just getting older, right? Some of them getting older. Some of the bantamweights moving down to flyweight, and they're not signing bantamweights they need to, Chelsea Chandler, Tanisha Tennant, they can all make 135. They're not focusing on the bantamweights. That's why they're drying out. It's being neglected. Fighters moving down. So while fighters are transitioning into 125, it's going to be so much more thriving. I don't know. Yeah, bantamweight need to get it together. Like matchmakers for bantamweight, they got to do something. Start getting the bigger girls there. But yeah, Rose. Let's talk about Rose a little bit. I just put Rose up there with Zhang Weili because I just was thinking, like, what about her title run? Like, Rose Namajunas, like, where do y'all see her title reign going? Like, do you see Rose Namajunas reaching a title reign of does Rose Namajunas have enough well-roundedness? Does she have enough skills to go on a title reign against the type of competition she has at strawweight? That was my question. I was thinking about today. In my opinion, I think for Rose to go on a title reign like Valentina, I won't say it's impossible, but I think it's highly unlikely. I think she could probably get as high as 3 or 4, and then I'll be a nice, but I really don't see Rose going on like a 5 and 6 dominant title reign. And for one, there's 2 points there's a couple, feels like three points I'll cover, but first point, why I don't see her going on a dominant title reign like Valentina is because the level of competition there. Level of competition is so much more thriving at 115. So many styles that I think collides with Rose, and so many styles that can figure Rose out. You got fighters like Mackenzie Dern, who has jiu-jitsu like no other, probably the best jiu-jitsu practitioner in the strawweight division. And all it takes is one moment for her to get you on the ground. She's also working on her striking. Marina Rodriguez, powerful hitter. You never know how that fight could go. Um, what else? Uh, who else? Who else? Zhang Wei Li. The Zhang Wei Li fight is still close. Like, Zhang Wei Li fight, it may not be 50-50 in a lot of y'all's eyes, but I could see it being 50-50, maybe 60-40 for Rose. You just never know. So them three fighters right there. Amanda Lemos on the come up. You never know what she could do. Tisha Torres possibly getting all the way back up there. We don't know. Tisha Torres, in my opinion, beat Rose twice. Tisha Torres had that kind of style to offset Rose Namajunas, right? So competition is a big part of it. Like, competition in her division is so much more thriving. It's so much more thriving, and there's so many great fights, where it's like back and forth. You don't know who to pick. In my second point, Brian Williams said it's not Rose's skill set, it's the competition. It's both. It's both to me. Like, because when you say competition, skill set come into place, because Rose doesn't have the same well-roundedness as Valentina, if you get me. Rose, her skill set, all her bases, in my opinion, aren't covered the same way like Valentina. Valentina's a near A+ in everything, right? Like, even when I do my keys to victory for these fighters, like, it's hard for me to pick what to expose in Valentina or what to go for. But Rose, she's good at certain things, but she can still be broken down. Like, her physical strength and her core strength isn't the same as Valentina. That's why when you chop the legs down or you chop the body down, you can get inside. You can get inside. Jessica Andrade had the strength to pick her up and handle her. So I think it's a mixture of both. Like, Rose Namajunas, I don't see her going on the same title reign because of the competition, but also because she doesn't have her bases covered. Like, all her bases are not covered the same way Valentina is. Valentina, being great at everything, covers for swarmers, it covers for grapplers. She's covering long, tall, rangy fighters. She's covering rough and rugged fighters like Lauren Murphy. That's still yet to be seen if she beats Lauren, but I think it's safe to say that she has tools for everybody. Like, Valentina has tools for everybody. Like, Rose has a lot of tools, but we've seen what type of styles can get inside on her. Like, we've seen her not make adjustments in these fights and win. She's lost to the Tisha. She lost to Andrade. Competitive fight with Joanna the second time around. She still won it, but there was competitive moments there. So I think it's a mixture of both. Brian Williams says styles make fights. The stylistic challenges are higher level at strawweight. Yeah, definitely, no doubt. That's what I said. Strawweight division is better. It's better, but when the competition is that good, you got to have more tools. You got to have tools to cover everything. That's my point. You got to have tools to cover everything. Because I think if Valentina was a strawweight, she would still be just as dominant. That's a challenge right there. I know y'all gonna say, oh, you think so? If Valentina was the same fighter she was at 115, Valentina could very well be dominant. The same way at flyweight. Brian Williams says it's not fair to compare anyone to Val and Amanda. Shoot, a lot of people do. Everybody want to say that. Everybody's saying Rose is great. We're gonna start looking. We're gonna start sizing her up. We're gonna start sizing her up and see what she looks like. Some people are arguing with me saying she's the greatest, or they say Rose is one of the greatest, and I tell them why she's not. Well, let's match her up here. Let's go ahead and match it up and see what's going on, right? Let's go ahead and see what the deal is. Like, what makes her what puts her in a position where we can't compare her. I think you just said it right there. We can't compare her to Val and Amanda because she ain't got the tools like them. And that's the two reasons why I think that she won't be as dominant in her title reign, you know, because she doesn't have the tools, and you don't have the tools in a very, very dangerous division to go on that long a reign. But yeah, I could definitely see Valentina doing it if she was at 115. Okay, Robert Henry said Montana got a better chance of climbing Mount Everest with no rope or harness than ever reached Valentina Shevchenko in a title fight. Dang, BJ, you gonna take that? Oh man. Mark said, anyone know who Megan Anderson signed with? Might be NBL. Not sure she moves fast enough for that. Or backwards maybe. I don't know. She has not said, like in the comment section, she will not go in there. BJ says she ain't fought a grappler at 125 yet. Jennifer Myers a grappler. She's a grappler. Andrade grapples, but she just showed you who the better grappler was in those situations. You know, that box. Yeah, check that box. That's covered. Liz Carmouche. They're all grapplers. So I think Valentina covered it. I think she did. Yeah. Mark said, what did I say? Mark said, I heard another channel host putting voodoo on Rose to lose to Zhang. What? He said, I heard another channel putting voodoo on Rose to lose. Dang, I'm not doing that. I ain't playing with that stuff. I don't dabble in that, man. I don't want to see her. I don't want to see anybody lose in that fashion, man. I don't touch that. I don't touch that stuff, man. I mean, hey, everybody feel like, okay, they got their fighters to win. You want your fighter to lose, let them win fair and square, or let them lose fair and square. But I don't touch that stuff. Brian Williams said, well, she is one of the greatest, though. Look at what she's done. Her accomplishments show that she is one of the greatest strawweights in UFC history. I think she's definitely one of the in strawweights. Yeah. I won't say. I definitely won't say, yeah, she's not on the Amanda and Val level, but yeah, I think she's definitely accomplished a lot, and her accomplishments are definitely going to be put in the strawweight division history. I mean, 2-time champion. She's faced some of the best strawweights out there. Yeah, but you know how it is. Like when you measure certain types of great fighters, there's just some that just stand out over others, if you know what I mean, right? Like there's certain fighters that you just know. Brian Williams, yeah. You know, there's certain fighters that just stand out above the rest, man. Like, you know, Floyd calls himself TBE. You know, Muhammad Ali's known as the greatest of all time, but everybody knows Muhammad Ali as their great. You know what I mean? They put him on as their great, but yeah, that's not to knock her. Like Rose, to me, is one of the best strawweights. You know, and since she's still young and in the division, you know, it can either get better or it can even go down. It can either go left or it could go right. But what she's done, that's always going to be marked because she was the first 2-time champion in her division. Okay, BJ said at 125 she hasn't fought a dangerous wrestler or grappler. She hasn't fought. Get with Candy said, oh, oh, I don't hate her. I mean, I don't like what Rose said, and you know I stand by that. I don't hate Rose at all, man. I don't really hate any of the fighters. I mean, I won't watch them if I don't like them. You know what I mean? Like, if they really get under my skin, I ain't gonna watch them. Like, I don't. A lot of stuff I don't like, I'm not gonna support. Like, let me just put it that way. And she hasn't pushed me to the level of not watching her fight. Like, recently, Oscar Valdez, he cheated in the sport of boxing. So what did I do? I said I wasn't gonna watch his fight, and I did. Like, I just not ignore. I won't support him. Let me put it that way. I don't hate him, but I'm not gonna support him. But like, yeah, Rose, like, stupid words, what she said. But I mean, there's a lot of fighters that we watch probably always say stupid stuff behind the scenes, right? But I don't hate her. Oh yeah, yeah, that woman had that voodoo doll. I remember that. That was rooting for Muhammad Ali. I was like, people were like, when they ride for you, you know, whether it be Whaley or Rose, or, you know, Manny Pacquiao, people get emotional, man. You know, people get crazy. I know when I drop some videos, you know, sometimes I have people, when they're talking about Rose or they talking about Whaley, they get emotional, like in the comment section. They do. But I'm about to fight, man. I'm about the martial arts part, man. You know, it's all about, cause, you know, everybody. I've heard worse on what Rose has said, but you know me, I'm like, I don't know her personally, and I don't know what she's going through. But when it comes to that point where I feel like she's not, with something ain't right about her, then I'm just not gonna support her. That's how you hurt somebody. You stop their money. You don't keep talking about them. You stop their money. You know what I mean? In this game, you have to boycott or stop them. And that's how you make an example. Give a candy, so I can't see getting the voodoo doll. No, I don't want that on my hands. I don't want to touch nothing like that. I mean, no disrespect for the people that practice that, but I don't want anything like that on my hands. I don't want to touch that. I won't touch nothing like that. Excuse me. You know, even if I didn't like Joanna, I don't like none of that. I ain't touching none of that stuff. Don't put it in my hand. BJ, now let's go back to what you were talking about. Let's talk about some MMA here. WMMA. Okay. BJ said that she has not fought a good grappler or wrestler yet. All right. All right, BJ, help me out. Who does Valentina need to focus to cover that box? BJ, you answer that question right now. Who does Valentina need to beat to check off that box? I'm not leaving until you answer that question, BJ. Who does she need to beat in the grappling and wrestling department to check off that box? Bluebird said lots of Zhang fans took the Rose comments personally, which is understandable. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I didn't take them personal, but I put myself in the position of the people it would offend, and I did understand them. You know, I said, let me stand in the shoes of who Rose is talking about here. You know, so I can see that. And I take away points for Rose for saying what she said. You know, like I said, you got to earn that back with me. I took points away. I already said that. I've taken points away from Rose on what she said, but I'm, not letting it shy away from my love of the sport and the division, So, I don't agree at all with what she said. I don't even know if she knew what she was saying. If and when they get there, you won't be able to deny them. BJ said, if and when Montana, Jillian, or Taylor fight her. Yeah, all right. Taylor is Taylor's one of them. She's one of them grapplers I would love to see her in there with. But I thought Jennifer Maia to me was a good one. Jessica Andrade was. Okay, yeah. Brian Williams said Andrade was it. Jessica is a power grappler. Her technique ain't there though, as Val showed. Yeah, I checked the box off. That's what I'm saying, Brian. I agree. The box has been checked. She's not as good technically, but her grappling is there. She is one of the strongest grapplers at flyweight. She's the strongest. BJ, you know, if you get online, if you do a live stream, BJ, you know, I want you to bring that smoke because I'm coming over there. Because BJ believes Valentina has not covered that box, and if you speak that way, BJ, you got to go on live and you got to break it down to us. I'm challenging you again, BJ. You got to get online, BJ. Live stream today or tomorrow night, I don't care. And you got to break it down to me. You got to break it down, man. You got to tell me how Montana, how her wrestling, her grappling is going to surpass Andrade's. You got to tell me. So that's BJ. That's your live stream. That's your next live stream, BJ. I need to hear it, man. Well, I think the grappling was in Jennifer Maia's MO. It's there. What belt does Jennifer Maia have? What belt does she have? She got a black belt Muay Thai. Got a black belt Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. No, Jennifer Maia's covered. Nah, man. Nah, BJ, you wrong. Jennifer Maia's covered. I'm gonna type it just like you. See, look, Jennifer Maia. She covers that box. Black belt and BJJ. Yeah, there we go. I'm gonna put it up the same way. Jennifer Maia covers that box, man. Black belt and BJJ, and she a good grappler. So that's covered, man. She already showed you what she can do. I mean, Jennifer Maia, to me, beats Montana De La Rosa right now. So if she does that, we cool. Yeah, that's covered. The box has been checked, BJ, so you can't do nothing about it. He gonna bring that smoke. Mark said if Dern goes to 125, she might test Valentina's ground game. That's possible, man. Like if she can get there, Mark, if she can get to the wrestling, if she can get her wrestling on point, her ground game might be interesting, man. Like if she can get to the ground with Valentina, the jiu-jitsu part, oh man, that would be crazy. Yeah, Bluebird said Carmouche was a grappler to give Val problems, but that didn't happen. No, it didn't. But it counts. Stammer said, here come all caps again. Montana and Jillian don't even get to fight where it suits them. Taylor, let's see. I'm waiting. Yeah, with Taylor we gonna see. We'll see. Oh, BJ, man. I know she don't have the kill switch, but she had the accomplishments going in. So that was covered though. That's covered. It was covered. I mean, Jennifer Maia was number what? I don't know at the time. You know, when she beat JoJo, submitted JoJo, went in there with Val, took the fight. So yeah. Montana still has to get by Macy in a couple more fights before she can show us any Valentina thing, man. Robert here said she out grappled someone last name. Right. Yeah. That's what I'm saying, man. Yeah, Pino is a good wrestler, but the holes in her grappling were exposed by Val and GDR. She's basic but strong international. Yeah. She's reckless too. You know, she kind of reckless. Marcus said Montana hasn't even beaten a competition that makes you think otherwise. As for Andrea Lee, can she get over that top 10 get top 10, 15 gatekeeper hump? I think, Andrea Lee questions will be answered when she goes in there with Jessica I at this point. It all depends on what what happens. Yeah, Brian. Jennifer Maya was Invicta champion. Yeah, Jennifer Maya was champion. Yeah, she was Invicta champion. Yeah. Okay, Mark got a good question. What championship rematch is most dangerous for Valentina? Dang, man. What rematch is most dangerous? Well, not Jessica I. Not Liz Carmouche. Jennifer Maya, Mark Robinson. I think Jennifer Maya is the most dangerous rematch. And that's not even like that's not even to the point I'm saying don't take the fight. If I had to pick, it would be her. Because, Jessica Andrade, 1.5 rounds, right? Second round TKO. She was done. We got to see what Lauren Murphy looks like next Saturday. But right now, Jennifer Maya is probably the most dangerous because Jennifer at least won a round and she had the durability to go 5 rounds. I think eventually in the second fight she might get in a couple licks. She might get another takedown or two, but I think Valentina may eventually crack the code early. It might stop Jennifer Maya, but that's one way I could see it playing out. If Jennifer Maya starts getting hit early in the fight, she could get stopped, but if she picks up where she left off from the first fight, like the first 3 rounds, she may make it interesting, but I'm just saying, out of all the 5 defenses, she's probably the most dangerous one. I think that's obvious, right? For me, it is, what do you think, Mark? Mark Robinson, what do you think? Who's the most dangerous for you? BJ said Jennifer Maya. Yeah. So Jennifer Maya covers that box. Let Montana get on Valentina like Maya did. Ooh, she got to get by that striking, bro. She got to get by that. She got to get past that left hand. Bluebird said, I think Val had an off night against Maya. That lay and pray about Maya won't work again. Robert said, we've been debating BJ on her ground game for over a year. I can link my early videos talking about this. She takes everyone down. Y'all crazy. You're a grappler, can't say. Has it been that long, man? Dog. Yeah, I agree, Brian Williams. Yeah, she makes good adjustments. That's why one part of me thinks that she would stop Jennifer Maya in the second fight. I said that a couple of live streams ago. I think that Valentina in round 4 and 5 was starting to tee off on Jennifer Maya, and more and more she was landing that left hand. It was kind of like dazing Jennifer Maya. You could see like Jennifer Maya's eyes, like she was taking so many straight shots those straight 1-2s that were doing damage. Then the check right hook came in and she started getting hit. So if Val picks up on that in the first couple rounds, yeah, she could stop her. Good adjustments made. B just said she didn't have off night. He said she came to fight. Yeah, she did come to fight. I ain't gonna lie. Yeah, she came to fight. She did come to fight. Okay, Mark Robinson says, I think you're right. It's probably Jennifer Maya. No disrespect to Maya, but the fight wasn't that close, so that crazy. No, it wasn't. She won one round. Jennifer Maya won about one round in my opinion, but that just goes to show you, like, that's how game she was versus everybody else, right? Like, look at everybody else on that list. Like, you thought Andrade would have been the one, right? But she wasn't. Caitlyn, Liz, Jessica, no. It's gotta be Maya. I mean, if you had to pick. All right, so let me see. We covered a lot, man. We covered a lot about this Valentina talk because, like I said, I wanted to get on here and do a part 2 because I was talking about it the other night, a couple of nights ago, and I just kind of wanted to revisit, like, where she's gonna go with this, like, what's gonna happen when Valentina hits 7, 8, 9, and then eventually 10. I think it's just going to do good for the division, man. I think it's going to be good for WMMA, period, because you're going to have something WMMA hasn't had that men's MMA had for a while, like, dominant champions. It's good to see somebody do, like, Danger Mouse, or, Demetrius Johnson, Anderson Silva, John Jones. You got those long reigning champions, Kamaru Usman, he's on the way defending his belt again. So, to see Valentina put herself in that list with Ronda, Joanna, those consistent champions, I think we're going to be, adding another great piece of history to just WMMA, man. So I'm all for it, man. I want to see her hit 10 because I think when she does that, even in her next title defense, like let's say she beats Lauren Murphy, not wishing bad on Lauren Murphy. If Lauren Murphy wins, yeah, Mighty Mouse. Yeah, I mean Mighty Mouse. Yeah, I said Danger Mouse. I always got them two mixed up, man. Like growing up, I always say Danger Mouse and Mighty Mouse. Yeah, I meant Mighty Mouse. But yeah, if if Lauren was a win, I mean, hey, I ain't gonna be mad at that. But I think with Valentina continuing just to dominate, it would be interesting, man, because it's gonna make everybody have to step up their game and realize that, wow, like we're just not on this Shevchenko level like we need to be. You know what I mean? It's like we're not as good as we need to be. So, I like the fact that we got a champion that likes to fight. Valentina will take her time off, come right back and fight. There's no waiting with her. She likes to take on competition. She doesn't sit on a belt. I don't think I said that tonight too. That's one of the things I like about it. Like, she doesn't sit on the belt. Like with anybody else, do the same too if they got the belt. I don't know, Hey, look, one of them rats. No, I'm just playing. One of them mice. He's a Speedy Gonzalez. One of them mice, man. I've been calling him like Danger Mouse on the low. Hold up. Oh, snap. We could bring that back. I've been calling him Danger Mouse. Well, not on live stream. I think I've called him that before. Mighty Mouse. Valentina gets instant rematch privileges on, so hitting 10 becomes even more likely. Yeah. Well, Brian Williams said, I think the key to having a chance against Val is to make her lead the dance. Holly, being a counter striker, had the best chance, but she got impatient, wanted Val to lead, and of course she never did. Yeah, I need to watch that fight again, man. Yeah, letting Val leave is probably like a good point. I won't say that is a good point. Letting Valentina lead might be the only way you get an opportunity, you know, because she'll leave herself open more, right? Because when she's in defensive mode, excuse me. Sorry, I had to sneeze. When you take Val out of a defensive mode and how she sets her feet, you know, she's going to open herself up to more opportunities of being hit, right? So if you get her to lead, she'll be open. And that's kind of a hard job to do. Like Jennifer Maia, when Jennifer Maia would hit Valentina, that would kind of make Valentina mad, and she would try to hit back. And I remember like in round 4 and 5, Jennifer Maia was getting backed up because Valentina wanted to close the show. And if she had been a better counterpuncher, she maybe could have caught her a couple of times. You know, she could have maybe caught her a couple of times. So, you know, that's a good point, man. Getting her to come forward, you know, that would be interesting. You know, make her be the offensive fighter for a change. Because Val's a counterpuncher, and her defense is what makes her one of the best, best flyweights, best fighters, period, you know. But, yeah, like I said, when Jennifer Maia would hit Valentina in like round 3, 4, and 5, she would come after. You know, Valentina would kind of wake up and come after her. And I think that's one thing you need to do. Like, if you hit Valentina, it kind of makes her want to come after you a little bit. You know, she hates getting hit, so she'll come back and try to outscore you. So you do that, and you have some counterpunching abilities, you might be able to catch her. Because, yeah, offense, you know, you taking them chances with offense, sometimes, you know, you're going to leave yourself open. So, yeah, that was a good point. That's why I say Maia was probably the most dangerous, because she was the one that did get a little bit more of a chance as far as openings with Valentina. Not many, but when Valentina came after, yeah. I'm going to go back and watch that Holly Holm Valentina fight, though. I got to go back and watch that. Yeah, for sure. So let's see, how many more minutes we gonna stay on here? Yeah, let's wrap this up in about 8 minutes. All right, what else y'all got for the next 8 minutes? I think I done talked about all my points here. Let me see my title. Yeah, we talked about title defenses. We talked about the new blood needing to come in the division. Namajunas, her title reign, how far I think it'll go. I don't know, man. Rose Namajunas, her title defense, I think it could go 3, 4 tops. Yeah, because the competition is just that legit at 115, man. Like, you know, yeah. Anybody get on the inside of Rose and, you know, execute a good game plan, they could take her down and take her out. Let me ask you this, Brian Williams. I mean, I know we're talking about the competition thing in the strawweight division. Like, what do you think, Brian? Like, how far does Rose get as far as title defenses for you? Just a question. Like, how far do you think? Since, you know, we were mostly talking about that, you were bringing up some points. Like, how far do you think Rose gets with title defenses? No, it's all good, Joe. It's all good, BJ. BJ said that's his train. Shoot, I'm rocking with JoJo too, man. Yeah, I rock with JoJo. JoJo Calderwood. That's why JoJo gonna knock one of your triple threats out the box. So hey, I'm rocking with her. So all day long, she gonna take Grasso out. Let me see. Yeah, so I asked Brian that question, but like, what do y'all think? Like, how far does Rose get in title defenses? Like, how many does she rack up? Let's add, Wei Lee to the list already. It's her next fight. So how far do y'all think she gets? If it beats Wei Lee, that'll be one. Will she beat Mackenzie Dern? Will she beat Carla Esparza? Okay. Brian Williams. Okay, what you say? Actually, I think you might be new over here too, Brian. I ain't really seen you come on here, but appreciate you coming through, man. Make sure you subscribe too. We always have conversations over here, man. So if this is your first time really tuning in, make sure you subscribe too, because we're gonna be talking about these fighters until fight night. That's how I usually do over here, man. So Brian, if you first time I seen you over here, so I'll be talking about Rose and Zhang Wei Li, throw Carla in the mix. So yeah, make sure you subscribe too. Brian said, hard to say because strawweight is so crazy. I think she beats Carla and Wei Li, but she could lose to either of them. It's a tough call. I give Rose about 3. I would give Rose 3. I'd say if she beat Wei Li, she go in there with Carla. Carla fight is still 50-50, but if she gets by Carla, I think she could get one more. Like, if she get them 2 nightmares out of the way, then I think from there she could maybe get another. But then I think when Mackenzie Dern, man, she's just such a wild card right now. Like Mackenzie Dern, Mackenzie Dern, her growth is scaring me right now, man, because she's actually focused and listening. She's actually listening and growing. Like, it's crazy, man. You really, some fighters, they don't want to get a grasp of certain things, but I think she's getting a grasp. And like Mackenzie's kind of showing me a new path, man. Man, she's just showing me a new path. Oh, okay, appreciate that, man. He said he just subscribed this week. Okay, thanks. PJ said Carla first because she will get there before Dern. Mojo said Angela Lee may come over and challenge Rose at some point. She is young and has already shown interest in fighting Rose. Angela Lee has, and so has Zhang. What's her name? Song Jinong. Just fought on the 1FC card. She also has showing interest in fighting Rose. Matter of fact, she hit her up in her DM. She said something about eventually maybe training with her or fighting her. You know what I mean? So yeah, Song Jinong, who just beat what's her name? The Brazilian girl. They just fought on the main card of 1FC Empower. The champion there. Yeah, she wants to fight Rose. So Rose, competition ain't slim for Rose, when it comes down to where she's at. Bluebird said, hard to tell how far Rose goes. The lady is a brilliant fighter, but I keep wondering about her mental game sometimes and how bad she wants to stay champion. Yeah, that's the tough part with her, man. Like, Valentina, like I said, is so committed to being a great and the love of the sport. I don't see her going anywhere. But Rose is just showing signs of being human, man. You know what I mean? Like, we think of fighters as superheroes. Or not me, but like the average fan thinks of fighters as being superheroes. But these mentally tough people, but there's still that human side where they just want to be a person. So I think that's where it is with Rose. Get what Candy said. It depends on Rose's mindset. I think at least 5. Dang. You think she gonna tie with Joanna? I don't know. I don't know if she ties with Joanna. Stamina said 3 sounds about right for Rose. Yeah, I think if she bags Zhang and bags Carla, I think confidence will get her through the third. Confidence and improvements will get her through the third for sure. Mark said, I know this is looking less likely, but I think Tatiana could neutralize Rose. I also think she can lose to Carla. Yeah, I think Tatiana could neutralize Rose. I do. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Stamina. Song Jing Nong. Song Jing Nong. Yeah, she called out Rose as well. All right, BJ. You catch you in the next one, man. For sure. We got to I got to hear it, man. BJ, you better get at it, man. I need to know, man, like what wrestler or grappler is gonna make Valentina check that box off. You got to tell me. I say Jennifer Maia, I'm Jennifer Maia, that's it. Jennifer Maia, Jessica Andrade, that's it. But I need to know on the live stream. And you better let me know the day you do the live stream. Don't duck. Mary Thomas, what's up? So Mary Thomas, the question is, how many title defenses does Rose reach? Man, that's the question for now before I wrap this thing up. All right, don't hit 2 hours. Bluebird, nothing wrong with JJ's mental game. That girl love the attention of being a champion. Yeah, nothing wrong with her game. Bluebird, JJ's game is good. I think she just met somebody who could take her apart. Dontel Jones said, I know Tatiana can beat Valentina Shevchenko. I'm glad you're confident in that, man, because when I say that, everybody start thinking I'm crazy. Dontel, when I say that, people start getting crazy. They be like, oh, man, they be like, you think Tatiana gonna beat Valentina? I think she could one day. I don't know about now, but everybody, they think I'm crazy. Mary Thomas says she'll have like one title defense against the same opponent she took it from. Dang. She says she only gonna reach 1. Okay. I think she'll hit 3. I'm being nice. Okay. I'm being nice. 3. Y'all think, okay, 1 time, okay. Robert Henry said BJ will figure out Valentina question right after he fixes climate change and ends world hunger. Speaking of hunger, you know that time it is. Speaking of hunger, I'm worried about my hunger. Dontel Jones said he know 200% sure. Okay, hey, tell me how though, man. Like, explain to these people that doubt. Because I think Tatiana needs a few more improvements, and she can make it interesting. But give us some keys to victory, man, because nobody will believe mine. Mary Thomas said then she got bombed by Andrade, but with Andrade out of the picture and Whaley not being as good at technical as people expected. Okay. Okay. So Mary, are you talking about before? We know she had 1, but I mean, this next title run, how many do you think she'll get for this next title run? That's the question. How many do you think she'll get starting with Whaley in a rematch? How far does Rose get? How far her title reign would be? Brian Williams said injuries. Oh, you talking about Tatiana? Yeah. I think Amanda Lemos becomes strawweight champion and challenges Valentina in the future. I think Amanda Lemos definitely gonna be there soon, man. Like Amanda is another one we support on this channel, and she's one I've been watching closely, man. Amanda Lemos, her next fight, Nina Ansaroff. I think from there, she's gonna be fighting the winner of Rodriguez Dern. Maybe one more fight after that, and she might get a title shot. Amanda Lemos is no joke, man. Like Amanda Lemos is really not a joke. Like I think that fight might be hell for Rose. If Lemos was where Wei Lee was right now, I think that Wei Lee. I think that what's her name? Zone blacked out. Okay, Lemos. Lemos might really give her more trouble than Wei Lee could. Cause her striking, her boxing is almost as educated as Rose is. Like she's taking a little bit of bits and pieces from Floyd Mayweather's book. I've been watching her, man. I'm watching her. Amanda Lemos could very well be champion. Now challenging Valentina, I don't know. Challenging Valentina right now, I don't know. But her approach to her striking on the level and division she's in, it's gonna be dangerous. Shit, I gotta go watch some highlights of that too now. Bluebird said Tatiana had too many problems against Nina during the stand-up. Too many questions about that girl. Mary said, well, I think Rose could be very close with Suarez, and she has Tisha's number. Only Carla seems to be a big threat as Suarez. Lemos is very interesting. Yeah. Dantel said he don't think anybody beats Amanda Lemos right now. But I think Lemos is going to be champion. I think Lemos could definitely get that belt next. She'll be touching that belt. She's got the skills right now. Yeah, Tatiana in that fight with Nina, she had a couple injuries. She had a neck thing going on as well. I talked about that neck issue she had. Like her head hit the wall and her neck kind of cracked before the fight, so yeah, she was going in there damaged. Mary said, so I would guess unless Rose runs into Suarez early, she can defend the belt against the others for now. That's probably a significant amount. She beat most of the high rankers before she was even champion. Okay. So maybe like 4 or 5, I guess, right? So it's not likely they'll want to feed her to the same ops and have time wasting rematches unless they're close. Rose, yeah, she's in line for quite a few rematches, right? She's already fought pretty much everybody. Yeah, Mary, Lemos is strawweight. She's a strawweight. Mojo, Lemos is bad, and 34, she's not wanting to waste any time moving up. Yeah, that's another thing. Like, with her being a 34, with her being 34, she's got to move, and she has that drive to move. She's got that maturity level that says, look, I know when I'm ready, and then we're going to get it. BJ said, what Tatiana Khabib do to people that is different. Nobody stopped Khabib's wrestling, and Tatiana brings that same heat. BJ had to go to war. There you go. Bring it. Tell them. Yeah, Brian Williams. Strawweight division is crazy. Yeah, strawweight division is crazy, man. With that, with that level of competition, that's what it is too. I know. Yeah, with the level of competition, that's what makes it hard for you to be a consistent champion. Valentina, though, her division is more developing, so it's hard. It's hard. It'll be hard for anybody to keep that belt, I think. Yeah, I think Lemos, if if I'm calculating it right, which MMA math never really adds up, I think her striking could very well rival Rose if she got the right IQ on how to cut the ring off, cut the octagon off, and counter the counter puncher, counter Rose's jab. That's gonna be interesting, man. I'm telling you, for sure. But all right, y'all. Said 2 hours. I've been on here about 2 hours and 10 minutes now, so I'm about to roll. I probably won't be back until Monday. Maybe one day during the week, but Monday. But stay tuned Monday. We're going to be doing the flyweight show Monday. We got 4 fights on UFC 266. So, flyweight show coming Monday. I'm going to do all my predictions for the flyweight fights for UFC 266. So, stay tuned. That's going down Monday, 7 p.m. Yeah. But yeah, I don't know. I might slide in here Sunday if I ain't too busy. I'm not sliding here tomorrow. I know that for sure. I'm not gonna be on Friday or Saturday, but I'll probably slide through Sunday maybe. But I'm definitely coming back on for sure Monday next week, cause we got to talk Shevchenko, Murphy, Calvillo, Andrade, Matafari, Santos, Manon Firo, Meyer, Brenda Silva. All right, take care, Stamina. He said gonna take him to go jump rope. Yeah, I already got my run in today, man. Got in a 6-mile run yesterday. Got in a 3-mile today. So I got my road work in today. I got the road work in today and yesterday. Next week I'm gonna throw the 12-pound vest back on, man, and get the real work in. Real quick, Mary said, "Yep, I think Suarez is strong, but I don't know if she'll pressure Rose down or watch the striking, if she'll respect the striking, but make good timing on takedowns." Yeah. The thing is, Rose dances around the ring a lot, like in boxing. If Lemos has the cardio to catch up with Rose, that's the most critical benefit. Yeah, I think so. I think the leg kicks, early on, leg kicks are going to be an issue. The leg kicks are going to how you break Rose down. Like if she can get leg kicks, Lemos got good leg kicks. Take away Rose's legs, and then she's more stationary and flat-footed. All right, before I go, all right, yeah, appreciate it, Brian. Yeah, he said thanks, great show, appreciate that. Give a Ken said thanks, always a great stream, love your voice. Oh, thanks, appreciate that. Dontel Jones said, what are your thoughts on Nunes, Pena, anybody pulling for the upset? She got a chance. Dontel, she got a chance, but it hasn't changed. Okay, BJ said, let me do that one with you. Okay. 7 p.m. Nunes and Pena, 70-30. It hasn't changed. It's still 70-30 for Nunes. I mean, anything can happen. But I'm still picking Nunes. All right. Mary says she got in her glute workout today. Okay. Yeah, Bluebird Pena might have a chance if she can get top control in the first few rounds. But Amanda's a very smart fighter. Yeah. Robot Chicken, he's Stairmaster. Yeah, my legs is beat right now, man. I did some running up, I always do running down a trail and up a hill. These hills be killing me. Well, they don't like kill me, like hurt, but I'm just saying, But yeah, I had a good run today and yesterday. But yeah, I'm getting out of here, guys. Y'all enjoy fight week tomorrow, or fight night tomorrow. Saturday, sorry. Y'all enjoy Fight Night Saturday, and enjoy your weekend. I'm getting up out of here like always. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Always appreciate your comments. You know, we have good conversation. Always hit the thumbs up, because like I said, if you hit the thumbs up, I'll keep doing these. But yeah, have a good weekend, everybody. Always, like always, Combo Breaker 99. I am out. Subscribe.